All over the world, public health has been a priority to governments of nations, particularly in Africa, over the last decade. At least we've heard the issue of Ebola, cholera, polio, and most recent COVID-19. In Nigeria today, we're so concerned with public health because it is even not enough to the standard of United World Health Organization, United Nations standards. So here today, Voicetv Nigeria is bringing in someone who has an interest in public health, one who is not just a pharmacist, who is an IT enthusiast, who is involved when it comes to public health data collection and research. And she will be doing justice to help us individualize what public health should be, particularly hygiene, to sustain our life, because without health, there's never wealth. I urge you to welcome a beautiful pharmacist in the studio, um, Miss Oloyede Adesola. You're welcome. And as usual, you've always known me. I'm Mohammed Jinadu, anchoring this beautiful program of health and well-being. Miss Adesola, what is public health, basically?
Okay, good morning. Public health generally has to do with the trending health condition. What is the major health condition? And it has to do with individuals. And that's why you see small groups of health workers, pharmacists coming out to discuss what are the things happening in our community. How can we increase life expectancy? How can we improve people's health and well-being? So public health generally has to do with getting back to the community to treat and to help advise what we have learned, how you can be your own personal doctor in your own house. So public health has to be.
Okay, generally, because we're a developing nation, and we all know that if you ask the average typical Nigerian person, why is there deficiency in a particular thing or a particular sector of your life? It talks about finance. With the issue of money, usually people are scared to delve into improving public health. They think it's money. Put us through, walk us through what are the basics we can do that really, really don't require much money, because that's
Okay,
actually where we can start from.
okay, thank you. So I would say, although money is necessary for yes, like money is like the major treatment. I've seen several memes online where they'll say, okay, bring money and bring. In fact, money is my drug right now. But basically, there are things we can do on our own to improve our own personal well-being, like proper hygiene, fruits, some little things that we take as unserious or irrelevant actually contributes to our well-being. And that's why they used to say people in old ages, like our forefathers, they don't visit the hospitals and they don't fall sick. We don't see cases of cancer, all these big hepatitis that kills people now. It's not so common then. That's because they eat good food. They
Okay.
take fruits and vegetables, which helps in their well-being.
Okay, more like it helps to boost the immune system. We're
Yes.
talking about hygiene. We're really, really, I think all of us are caught up because we actually take certain things for granted. Like you hear, if not COVID-19, I am very sure most Nigerians never wash their hands
Yeah.
as much as 2 times a day. So please walk us through those domestic basic things we can do to sustain our lives, improve our and reduce health risk.
Okay. Okay. As a lady,
Yes, ma'am.
I would say, okay, we should discuss more on female hygiene because, in as much as we've taken it, not something everybody wants to talk about.
Okay.
It's something that is so important and is one of the leading. You go to pharmacy and you see lots of ladies tripping in, even as children, tripping in, complaining of this or that, vagina, itching, different things. And these are common things, little mistakes has led to it.
Okay.
So proper hygiene can actually help prevent that. And that's what I think we should discuss this
Such
morning.
as what
We'll
are
be
those kind of
discussing this
okay?
morning. Okay, basically, I would say that okay, vagina, the female private part
Yes,
is
ma'am.
okay. Everybody just know the vagina, 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 but the vagina is not what should be taken care of. It's the vulva, which is the flesh, the outer part,
Okay.
because the vagina itself is self-cleaning.
Okay.
Is like the mouth
Okay.
that secretes its own saliva. So
Okay.
the vagina secretes its own cleaning itself. So it does not need any cleaning. It's when you start cleaning it, start touching it, and start doing all manner of things. That's when you infect yourself.
Okay.
And that's the cases of irritations that we are seeing now and complaints we're getting in community. And it's leading to drug abuse and misuse. Because your friend can just come to you and say, oh, I had the same symptoms and I used this. And most ladies will fall for that and go ahead and use it also. That is drug abuse.
So basically, what we call infections are actually self-inflicted.
Yes, most times. Most times.
Please walk us through. I'm actually learning now. I'm actually confused. I never
Most
believed.
times.
I
Most
thought people
times.
say, okay, they go through probably toilet infections and all of these. Those are the common phrases we hear. But now you're
Yeah.
telling me something different that, look, we actually are the cause. It's not really. So
Yes.
please walk us through and help us.
Okay, like I said earlier, like most of these things are actually something we overlook and infect ourselves. Like, okay, I'll be going through the normal hygiene and the normal way a lady should clean up themselves.
Okay.
Okay, I know every lady knows about this, at least while growing up, because there are lots of phases in a female reproductive. It changes from being a child to puberty to when the lady is becoming sexually active to when you start giving birth to menopause.
Okay.
All these attributes, especially in menopause, even elderly people, they have this vaginal infection a lot. And that's because of low estrogen. Estrogen is what helps with lubricating the private part, and that's what prevents you from all those likes of itching and infections. So when it's no longer there, they start having that symptoms.
Okay. Like susceptible to. All
Yes,
right.
yes, when it's no longer there. So I'll be going through some basic things that female can do to prevent them from having this infection.
What are those, ma'am?
Okay. Basically, I would say every lady should learn how to wipe up or clean up their private parts, which is from the front to the back. Most times we end up wiping from or anyhow splashing water, and that is even what we call toilet infection.
Ooh.
Yes, because when you go to a toilet, you start cleaning, putting, yeah, it's nice, it's good, nobody is disputing that. But basically, the infection or the irritation is not gotten from that toilet. Is you using the toilet, defecating, and not wiping yourself very well, thereby infecting yourself. So
Oh.
it does not have to do with the toilet seat or where you are. It has to do with you not cleaning yourself up well, thereby transmitting feces back through the vulva, which will later go into the vagina and causing irritation, lower abdominal pain. When you want to urinate, some it goes as far as painful urination.
Wow. So the vulva is actually what should be taken care of.
Yes, once you clean your vulva very well, no microorganisms, no fungal infection going through to the vagina. So you are fine.
Oh, so the vulva
The
is more like a
outer
gateway.
part.
It's like a
Yes.
gateway that gets to. Okay. Now, so how are you advised? Is it warm water? Is it what do you do? Like some people say they apply soap every time. I don't know. Are all
Okay.
those things?
That is what I'm still going to get to.
Okay, ma'am.
Applying of arch soap antiseptic is very bad for female. In fact, recently now, mothers even go as far as they love their children. I know it's out of love. They go as far as tabling those baby girls on the table and washing. What are you washing for? Just water and mild water. It's just like our normal skin. There is nothing extra about the vulva that needs special attention. It's just like the normal skin and it should be cleaned just with water and soap. In fact, normal soap, not antiseptic soap. should not be used on the private part. Because when you use antiseptic soap, there are some microorganisms that are supposed to be on your private part, keeping the place normal.
Oh,
Yes, there are living organisms there that are
they are
supposed to
healthy
be
too.
there, that are healthy.
I This is strange. We are
Yes.
we the thought has always been, one, there's a microorganism problem, there's trouble
No,
in the
no,
land.
not all bacteria are harmful to the
How do we know this?
body.
I'm sure nobody can see any.
Yes,
So
we
how do
can't
we know?
see it. There are even bacteria in the mouth. That if you go and open your mouth and run a test under the microscope, you see billions of,
There's a problem now.
yes, that live there. So the same goes for the
Okay.
female private part.
So what do we do? How to manage this thing so we don't destroy the ones that are good for us and leave the ones that are harmful?
Okay,
What do we
that's
do?
why I said just cleaning with normal water and soap is okay for the private part. So you don't end up killing the good ones, that the good microorganisms that are supposed to be
So there's no need to do more of drugs.
there. No. In fact, drugs are not necessary in this case, except you want to use the likes of, there are some fruits that are
Okay.
very rich in vitamins that are good to keep those, like I said, the vagina itself is self cleaning. It's made up of 90% water, 1% salt, and some other antioxidants.
Okay.
So there are some fruits that one should take that would enable that cleaning process to be normal. Every lady should know the texture of their vaginal discharge, the smell, and the look.
It's advisable.
Yes. So when you
Wow.
start, and the normal look is just a clear, not like a milky kind, no offensive
It's not
odor.
like gelatinous, what they call gelatin. It's not like something like color, maybe
It's
colorless.
colorless,
All
yes,
right.
not pure white. In fact, when it's pure
Can
white,
one do that self
examination,
examination? You can.
yes, yes, you should know.
Are
You
there
should
kits for that?
know. There are no kits that I'm aware of. It's something you just look
Okay.
through your underwear. You
Okay.
would see if it's changing to pink, if it's changing to greenish. There's cause for alarm. There's need to visit a lab, which is very, very important. And that is what we're trying to encourage.
Okay.
You visiting the lab, even if you can't visit the hospital, is necessary to go to the laboratory, not just pick up any drug because your friend said this works for her, this works for this one, because they all have the same symptoms,
Well,
but they are different. There's yeast infection, there's bacterial infection, but it's all coming as, oh, it's itchy, is this. So it's when you now go through the test, you will be able to identify which particular bacteria. Is this fungi? Is this bacteria? Which one? And which antibiotics will be susceptible to this?
now you talked about tests. You know how our society reacts to a lady walking into a laboratory and asking a male doctor or someone, a male lab expert, to probably run. How do you do that? You know the way it works around here. I
Okay.
think are we equipped enough, or do we have these centers where you go to, confidentiality is really upheld?
Yes, yes. Right now we have that all over Nigeria at least.
There's none. I'm
Everywhere,
really really aware.
laboratories, you don't even have to enter into an hospital. You see diagnostic centers set up in communities, in areas, and there are community pharmacists around. You can walk into, you talk to your pharmacist, and they would advise you. After your test, your lab technician is supposed to explain your lab results to you, and you would see it in clear times. You will see the antibiotics of choice, you see everything. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. Most of these infections are not even sexually transmitted, although we have some that are
Yes.
sexually transmitted, but most are not. It's just lack of proper hygiene. Spreading your underwears in damp areas is discouraged. It encourages growth of fungi, mold start growing up on your underwear, and you put it on again. Later they find their way inside the vagina. Fine, you're putting on it on and it's going to have contact with the vulva. But so sooner or later, consciously, maybe with your hand or with cleaning yourself, you push it down the vagina
So
and
you mean
infect
there is
yourself.
you need temperature
Yes.
to heat the underwear.
It's either you spread it under sunlight or higher.
Like I said before, culturally, this is Africa actually, and Nigeria, limiting it to Nigeria. People are very skeptical as to spreading their underwears outside.
Yeah,
How do
because of
and now
village people.
electricity. Now you hear village people, the networks, they are connecting somebody somewhere.
Yeah.
Now here it is, man. Electricity is another problem. Power. How do we manage? I now understand why we have this high risk of anytime there's an infectious discuss. African, particularly like I said, Nigeria, there's a very high risk. What do we do? How do we manage this? So because of like I said, our village people and power deficiency, but encouraging further, like you said, we must spread because of the level of heat
Yes.
we need on those underwears. So what do we do? Just I guess
I
coming
think
from the expert.
it's not about village, it's just lack of the knowledge.
All right.
Yes, we just all feel it's comfortable to spread it. There are still places under sunlight, even if you're complaining there's no electricity to
Okay.
iron it. God has given us a good weather
All right.
in this part of the world, so you would always see sunlight at least if it's
Um.
not raining season. So spreading it outside is even better because by the time you get infected and you don't treat yourself, the after effect is village people cannot even help with that
Wow.
because this is something going inside. Goes from the vagina to the urethra to your bladder, if untreated, going forward and forward to infecting you, causing damage, small intestine, everything. And that's why we're having the cases of all the cervical cancer, untreated infections, not completely treated.
Mom, with this, are you sure? What do we do? What kind of advice do you have for the government to help educate our teenagers before they get to adulthood? Because it seems we need to learn how to do these things before they really catch up with us. Because here it is, mom. This is a whole lot of education I'm getting. Now I never knew that because it's damp, you can catch something. So all the itches are actually self-inflicted,
Yes.
mostly the rashes. So if we're able to do, probably spread our underwears properly, and we're probably saving ourselves 90% the whole time.
Yeah.
Are there support groups like so I see that you're aware of?
Yeah, there are female support groups all over trying to educate
Okay.
teenagers about female hygiene, how to clean themselves up and everything. There are lots of health groups, and I would still want to say it should be encouraged more
Okay.
because right now is one leading health challenge we're having around. Like almost all females here and there, you hear of these cases, and they are mostly self-inflicted. So more advocacy, more lectures, more public health administrative coming out to discuss this issue will go a long way. Because I've even seen a case of a woman, the way the woman was washing the little girl, I was like, what happened? Going as far as putting cotton bud as if they are cleaning the hair, I know we are only concerned about our little ones,
Okay.
but this is you even as a child, you're
You're
already
already damaging
exposing
the child to
child.
infection,
So growing up, the child knows, oh, this is how to clean myself
probably
up
which is
and
even wrong.
causing more damage.
Which is
So
even wrong.
this needs to really go into media too
Reorientation.
should help.
Oh, wow. Viewers, this is why you need an expert to come talk to you, educate you, and let you know that those basic little things you take for granted are actually the cause of a lot of big problems we have. This particular discuss today has opened my eyes to understanding that look, sometimes we think it's the environment. It isn't really the environment. Yes, we need to keep our environments clean, but what we do to our bodies are actually the major problems that we really need to probably be able to reorientate ourselves and be able to catch up with. This program will be going up More and more you'll be seeing this beautiful lady and some other health, because we're concerned about the effect of health deficiency in Nigeria. Thank you, Ms. Uloyede.
Thank you
We
so
would
much.
love to see you again,
Yeah.
where you prepare our mind again and educate us on some other things, because you really touched on a lot of things. That look, there are some microorganisms that are actually good for our bodies. We here in Nigeria we swat it. We don't want, we're like elephant. Anything that has to do with anything, we just want to kill. We take too much drugs, we abuse drugs, like you say, and I think it's actually one of the biggest problems we have. People have abused a lot of drugs for fear of one hearsay and
Oh no.
here and unknown stuff. Thank you, viewers, for being with us. Like I said, please join us whenever we put our notifications out, and this will help us understand a lot about public health and some researches that are updated. And we think with the health in check, we'll be able to make more money that we're pursuing. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, ma'am, for coming.